Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Federico Show. I know it's late to be talking about the Canadian Football League, talking about the Grey Cup, but we're gonna do it in this episode anyways. So in this episode, Anson Gross is gonna come on. We're gonna talk about the CFL, the Grey Cup to start with, and then we're gonna get into the off season. You know, the Toronto Argonauts are trying to find a new head coach, and it seems like they're having some trouble finding a new head coach. Um, and then yeah, let's see what predict some offensive off-season moves. See what happens in the off-season. Anson's gonna be talking about it all. So here's the new episode of the Daniel Federico Show. All right, guys, we're back. CFL Daniel Federico Show, CFL Insider. Anson Grosh joins the program again. Anson, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, man. Sad this the CFL season's over, but now we get to talk about it.
Man, it's great. I know we're a week late on top of the Grey Cup, but it's okay. That's my fault. But here we go. Let's talk about the Grey Cup. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are Grey Cup champions. Corey Mace gets his first as a head coach. The boys were absolutely pumped for Corey Mace. Trevor Harris, too, getting his first as a starter. Talk about that game.
Oh, well, to be honest, if we're talking about the game, Montreal was never in it. Montreal was not in it because it was Saskatchewan's to win and they won it. They didn't lose
Yep.
it. They won it
Yep.
because they were the best team all year, right? And they
Mhm.
came out and they proved to us why they were the best team.
Davis Alexander's hamstring though did seem like a problem. And you know
Yep.
how he was saying all media week he goes, "Yeah, my hamstring's fine." And then I remember this one media question that I saw and the media availability they were going they were saying they asked him they go, "How do you feel that the Saskatchewan Roughriders are uh taking your hamstring so seriously?" He goes, well, I feel 100% fine, buddy. You don't gotta lie. Everyone saw the game before. You, that's a torn hamstring, buddy. Like, cool. Kudos for being a tough dog, but man,
Well, the funny thing was Jason Moss, his quote he put out was, "We think it was because he overtrained too much." Right? Like, why are you saying that? He didn't overtrain him. You probably let that guy rest on the sidelines the whole week of practice.
100%,
Right?
100%. Like they didn't overtrain him. He didn't overtrain, man. And like, dude, there was just no way that you're gonna fix a torn hamstring on 1 week. There was just simply no way you're doing it. Dog, he's an absolute dog for fighting through it.
Yep.
But at some time though, coming in the fourth quarter, it seemed like you needed a quarterback that was fully healthy.
Yeah, and then they panned a MBT on the sidelines
Mhm.
tossing the ball, and everybody's like, "Oh, is he coming in? Is he gonna be like Nick Arbuckle last year, or the year Chad Kelly won it or
Yep.
got hurt and he took over and won it? Is it gonna be that kind of sequence again?" But nah, they went with the guy they thought that could win them the Grey Cup, which didn't help. But the reason why they also didn't win was because the Saskatchewan was just the better team.
Yeah, Saskatchewan played a perfect, I wouldn't say perfect though, but I would say damn near perfect 4 quarters of football.
Yeah,
They looked tremendous. Um, but in Shea Patterson, was it Patterson or Peterson? Is it Patterson? Shea Patterson
Jay Patterson
getting stuffed. That was
against
huge.
his former team.
Yeah.
Against the former team on the goal line. That's that defense though they brought in, right? Like they brought that whole interior front line. Like it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think the CFL as a whole, though, I think it was a pretty good football game.
Yeah.
I think it's always great. It's always a good product. I think this season, though, for the CFL was tremendous. I think you got to give the Canadian Football League 10 out of 10 on the year.
Yeah. Wait till
Like,
next year. See what
yeah,
they do. They're
in
finally introducing a new app. Like
there, yeah,
that's
yeah,
huge.
yeah. So there was a bunch of stuff that was introduced or talked about from the commissioner all Grey Cup week. The app, team websites. Is it just is that gonna is to do like I personally I don't really care about apps or websites, but is it gonna help the league 110%? But do the real fans actually care about it? No, because I think the websites that they got right now for the guys is totally fine. For the teams, totally fine. But it's going to look a lot better. And introducing a fantasy football that's like the NFL style, that's pretty cool. I don't know how many teams are going to be allowed to be in the league, like five, six.
Who knows?
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty cool. I'll for sure be testing that out. But there was a lot of things he was saying. And what do you think about the commissioner's comments on the field changes and on that type of stuff?
I mean, it's 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 him saying what he wants everybody to hear,
Hmm.
right? He's one of those guys. He's just like, yeah, you know what? If I say this and that, it'll make everybody happy. But behind closed doors, he knows what he wants. He knows what he's doing. He knows the effects that are gonna happen. But he's just doing what he wants because he took over for Randy Ambrose, and now it's his ship to run. So he's gonna do whatever he wants and whatever he thinks is the best.
Do you agree with these changes? No, like you've had we've talked about it earlier in the show, earlier, and stuff like that. But do you agree with the changes? You've had at least a month to think about it now. Everyone's had at least a couple months now.
I mean, the changes are gonna happen whether we like it or not, right? Personally, the only changes I think that are going to be beneficial, and I think I've mentioned it unless I haven't, is the goalpost movement to the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
That's about it. And I don't like the field shortening, and I don't like the end zone shortening because the end zones. You watch some of the plays that happened this year in the playoffs and late in the year. Gives it with if that field goal post is in there and it's at the back of the end zone. You know how much room they have to scramble in that back pocket, and there's more room for a safety, right? They're going to close that off. They're going to make it more tight and more, smaller, and everybody's going to be it's going to be different to adjust to. And it's the same like I think we mentioned too. How is it going to affect the youth sports too that play at all these stadiums,
Mhm.
right? That's another thing he didn't take into account.
Yeah, he didn't take it into account. The one comment that really just drives me the wrong way though is youth sports or what he said about the youth leagues and minor leagues. The reason why he's bringing this to life in 2027. That's when the field changes are going to be changed to give the stadiums that they have now time to fix these fields and gives a chance if the youth levels want to do it. Well, youth sports, you have to change your fields. There's no question about it because if majority of them play in CFL stadiums, and what's going to happen when the Vanier Cup's at another Grey Cup stadium?
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, like right now, next year in 27, it's in Laval,
Yeah.
right? Vanier, so that's not
Yeah,
a
that's
CFL
yeah, that's not going
stadium.
to be an issue. But what does it ever go back to a CFL stadium? Because I know it did a tremendous job at Mosaic this year.
Well, it depends on whoever hosts it,
Hmm.
right? So Laval being the host, they don't play at a CFL stadium, unlike McGill, University
Yeah,
of Calgary, right? Those kind of schools that play in those CFL stadiums. University of
yeah.
Manitoba.
So like those schools are going to be in effect in 2027, and I think what they're just going to have to do, I think all of youth sports is just going to have to, go with the changes. Another thing that I really do like is the clock. I'm a big fan of them fixing the play clock now. But we've talked about these rule changes. But what do you think over this week? Do you have faith in commissioner or in the commissioner, or you think he's just Americanizing it? Because me personally, I think some of it can benefit, but only time will tell.
I mean, I don't think he's Americanizing it. I think he's adapting to how most of their players now are coming from the States, right? They're all coming from college football, or they had stints in the NFL practice squads or the UFL, whatever, or indoor football leagues, whatever it may be. They're having those more experienced guys come back to the CFL because there's nowhere to play for them, is the way they look at it. I don't think it's that's the way. Like
Yeah,
I think it's CFL is a great opportunity to keep playing football,
thousand
right? But
percent.
the Americans see it as, well, this is my chance to get back to the league. Some other Americans, if they get recruited by the CFL, right? Like there's former CFL coaches that all work at these colleges now and all that kind of stuff.
Like
Like,
Henry Burris is a quarterback coach, right? In
yeah,
the States,
he
and Ken Austin's like a quarterback consultant or whatever at Auburn.
Auburn or something like that, right? Like those are guys that are still huge names than the CFL, right? And another thing that me and you've talked about before is negotiation lists too,
Yeah.
right? All the negotiation lists, that it all happens because those guys watch college football games, and they're like, okay, well, these guys, they dominate these kind of fields, they can definitely dominate our CFL fields,
Yeah, 100%.
right?
And especially when that commentator over the weekend was talking about the two quarterbacks in college that they're gonna have a great career in the CFL if they come to it, and he's right. You know, when they were talking about Diego Pavia
Yep.
and Castellanos, if those two, because who has Diego's negotiation rights? Do you know
I
off the top of your head?
I know that it's Hamilton and Winnipeg. I'm pretty sure Winnipeg has Diego Pavia, and I believe Hamilton has Tommy Castellanos.
Okay, see, that's gonna be pretty. See, that could be interesting. Obviously, they're gonna go to the NFL. They're going to have the play out their rookie years, rookie contract there. But them coming to you can totally see that these guys are going to come play in the CFL soon. You know what I mean? Like they're not dominating college. They're
No.
just it seems like they're just getting by in college. No shame on them. But they're obviously going to get the NFL experience and then they're going to come to the CFL. But what does this have to do with, Taylor Algersma? Is he going to come back to the Canadian? Is he going to come to the Canadian game, or is he going to try and pursue the NFL still? Because I know they just signed someone. I know Winnipeg just signed a quarterback today,
Yeah,
and a
Bryce
pretty good.
Perkins.
Yeah, yeah, Bryce Perkins is a pretty good quarterback too.
Yeah, it's yeah, I believe he won UFL, and
Yeah, he's a
also
UFL MVP,
and I also think it read that he won
Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. He who did he win with is the question. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, he won with the Rams when
Yeah,
he was with the Rams. But yeah, so I mean, there you go. There's an instinct right there. They're Are they trying out the PJ Walker thing again? Right?
and
Like,
and 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 and, and, and when I think about that, PJ Walker right now, that experiment was a fail. I think he needs a couple more years or whatever. That first season though was a complete fail. Um, Bryce Perkins though, the quarterback room in Winnipeg is going to be up for discussion if Taylor Algersma comes back too.
yeah, that's a huge one, right? Because you'll have Zach Collaros, Bryce Perkins, Strevler, though. I think they signed Bryce Perkins because Strevler might be out longer because he did
They-
it. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure he posted that he tore his ACL.
yeah. People are well, so that means people are speculating now that Strevler's gonna is probably retiring. That's what he's probably going to be leaning towards, or he knows that he's not coming to play in 26.
Yeah, like he tore his ACL in, like, basically in the end of the year. That's at
Yeah,
least a full year. If it's a full year to recover,
yeah.
then you're looking at it as like, oh crap, you don't have a backup, because the backup they had, I, to be honest, don't know who it is off the top of my head.
And
All I
then yeah,
know is last
but
week Wilson.
yeah, but then going into training camp, like they probably have three quarterbacks. You always have a practice squad quarterback. I can't name you what the backup quarterback was this year without behind Chris Stradler too. But then it comes in though, they can be seeing five quarterbacks come in or and a total because they're gonna sign probably one more or they're gonna draft one more, and then Taylor Algersma is gonna come in. I think Taylor Algersma is gonna come to CFL. I I think he just needs to come to the CFL. I think he's been off football for a full year. Okay, we've seen what football could do when you're not playing for a full year. What it can do to you. It can make you rusty. It can make you bad. It can make you terrible.
Oh yeah.
you need to start playing football. And the way that he starts playing football is the CFL. I think he just, if he really says that the only league he ever wants to play in is the NFL, it's not looking too good. You got the Canadian label all over you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Nathan York couldn't make it, and he's the best Canadian quarterback this Canadian Football League has, and Canada has.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you look at it as it's it's like Laurier's new quarterback now, Wither.
Hmm.
That guy is elite. Like he was
Yeah.
an elite quarterback. He went D1 and I don't know what happened, but he ended up back in Canada. Guy's
Yep.
probably gonna make the CFL of the way he just played, right?
Spectacular year.
Right?
Yeah.
But like you also got to look at it as he realized that probably that Canadian tag on the back of your name is not going to get you in the NFL.
Yeah,
Like,
unless you're Curtis York and you take Indiana to the college football playoffs.
yeah, God damn,
Like
like,
that's different. Like you prove yourself in college. Like you go play against Notre Dame in the college football playoffs and you actually play pretty decent in that game. Eyes open up and you're looked at now as a, all right, this guy's a baller. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But if he was still on Ohio,
It'd be a totally different thing because that's the MAC conference. Like no one cares
that's
about
the
the
MAC conference. MAC
yeah.
conference is CFL bound,
Yeah. A
right?
thousand percent.
Like, there's what, maybe three guys that made it out of the MAC that are good. Khalil Mack, Ben Roethlisberger, was he
Yeah.
one? I believe, maybe,
I
and
can't even remember what school Ben went to,
and
but yeah,
Antonio
Khalil Mack.
Brown.
Yeah.
Those are like your three guys that made it out of the MAC conference. That's it. Like you're not going anywhere. It's mostly
Yeah, it's the action action, man. You're gonna go to the practice squad, or you're gonna come to the Canadian Football League and you're gonna take off, and you're gonna have a nice career in the CFL. And and having a good long career in the CFL is perfectly fine. And I think people need to start realizing that.
yeah,
Like it's the second best league in all of football. It beats the UFL.
100%.
It beats the UFL by a mile.
Yep.
It
And
beats
I still
any
agree.
Yeah, it beats any arena football league. It beats any year. It beats the European League of Football. The Canadian Football League is the second best league in the entire world, in this globe, in this earth. And people got to start realizing that hey, there's a lot of talent that is played in the CFL. You hear a lot of ex-NFL players that try to make try to make it in the CFL, and they go, this is tough, and they can't do it. But let's move on though for a second. Instead of talking about the quarterback situation, let's talk about coaching, the coaching carousel.
Yeah.
Toronto Argonauts. It looks like they're having a tough time, finding people that want to interview for the job. You know, Steinhauer just said no, I don't want it. Corey Mace rejected it. Obviously, everyone knew that was going to happen. But now they're going to assistant coaches, trying to seek permission. What do you think I'm just over reading it or overlooking it, or are they actually having a trouble time finding a new head coach?
I personally think that there's something going on there because this is what I was thinking. Like, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Ryan Dinwiddie left.
Yeah. We should actually probably talk about that first. But yeah, he's Ottawa Red Blacks' new head coach.
And GM.
Yeah, and GM,
He gets to call the shots now.
and he brought some guys with him too. No?
I think he's going to.
Yeah.
He definitely will. But I think that's why he left Toronto because they want to have that GM. Most coaches now in the CFL want to have a hands on who they pick and play.
And I totally agree with it.
Because it's not like the NFL. You don't have 32 teams. You have
Yeah,
9 teams and you want the best 24 guys on the field
at all
plus your
times.
specials,
Yeah.
right? So you want those guys on the field at all times. And like you look at it, like they've interviewed like multiple guys, right? Like
Yeah.
who they've talked about Jason Shivers, their D
O'Shea.
O'Shea that he re-signed in Winnipeg though.
Yeah.
Their defensive coordinator, Kevin Eben,
Yeah.
for their head coaching job. Like they interviewed Rick Campbell, who's with
Yep.
Ottawa now, who I thought was gonna take the Ottawa job, right? But
I
then
thought
all of
so
a
too, because
sudden,
he was on that staff last year, no?
yes, and all of a sudden Ryan Dinwiddie comes out of the blue and says, "No, no, no, I'm taking over and I'm gonna be GM," right? Like there's so many questions in the air. Why are we not going to Toronto? Like is there a special is there a special reason behind it?
Do you what I can think is something seems broken over there. In-house though, in-house. It's not the players. It got to be something with the front office there. Um, maybe like who knows honestly, because it's closed doors. But you see it too, right? They are having trouble finding a new head coach.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
Yeah,
usually by now, if you want to be a head coach in the CFL, you get that job.
aren't they trying to? Also, Ken Austin was in the mix.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know he's been mentioned to it as
but
well.
like I don't see him coming back to Canada just because it seems like he's having a fun time in Auburn, and I think he's gonna near coaching retirement soon.
Yeah, 100%. He's up there in age, right? But yeah,
Uh-huh.
like you said, what is going on there? We don't know. Um, I personally, I think another reason why Ryan Didwitty left because they had no run game this year.
Nothing. It seems
They
like it's a rebuild that nobody really wants to be part of, I don't think. Because Chad Kelly, what is his status?
like
Yeah.
you could have played him this year, even though you were out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You could have played him and just been like, "Hey, let's see if he still got it
Yeah.
after a full year of no football, basically." And they didn't go to it. Like another thing, like Ryan Dinwiddie, did that guy have a say in whether they cut Kadeem Carey or not? Because we mentioned Kadeem Carey before.
Yep.
Obviously, he got hurt. Technically, he just won another Grey Cup.
Technically, he did. Yep.
Right? He
Yep.
just won another Grey Cup. He suited up 1 or 2 games for Saskatchewan, and now all of a sudden he wins a Grey Cup. He could have been playing as a backup all year, but
Mhm.
he won a Grey Cup,
Yep.
right? So what is the behinding, like you said, in the front office? What is going on there?
Because aren't they also trying? Like, they're actively looking. They're actively looking to fill holes on their coaching staff. Like the offensive corner, I'm pretty sure they just seek permission to speak to somebody to be their offensive coordinator today.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
probably because Dinwiddie left.
exactly, because then we left. But you got to look at the head coach first and let the head coach bring his guys in. Because let me see this. I'm pretty sure the Bombers granted permission to interview Miller. Oh, no, it's never. Oh
I'm
yeah,
look,
Mike Miller's leaving Toronto.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
so yeah, I read that headline wrong. That's my fault. But yeah, so the Bombers want him. Him paired up with O'Shea would be nice. But yeah, there's something in the air, something in that in-house in Toronto with the Argonauts that it seems like nobody wants to be a part of. And we're gonna see, I believe it, we're gonna see a first-time head coach in the CFL this year. We're gonna see a brand new rookie head coach.
yeah, like you mentioned, there's they interviewed their special teams coordinator,
Yeah.
right? If you're going out of your way to interview a special teams head coordinator, nothing against it. There's only one coordinator that I believe deserved the CFL head coaching job, and that was the guy in Edmonton.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's a tremendous guy. He
But
does a tremendous job.
that guy basically I think was going for head coach or nothing after so long of being a special teams
Yeah.
coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Because he became assistant coach, right? Behind Dickinson,
Yep.
right? So, but yeah, no, he's got it right. And yeah, honestly, I don't know what's going on in that front office because like you said, what besides all I know is pinball, what are they really doing there?
And you would think like pinball would have this already, finished, finalized before the end of the Grey Cup. You know what I mean? Because now if you think about it, you're starting behind in the off season. And you guys just and their season has been done for almost a month and a half now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
So like they're already behind in the off season because they couldn't find a head coach yet. Call me up, call you up. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it for free. Imagine we just started doing head coach for the Toronto Argonauts
I
because they
mean, hey,
literally
buddy,
can't.
I'll quit my day job for that. No problem.
I would do that too.
See you
Oh, but
later.
but like now they're behind in the off season, and you know with the combine approaching, and with the Vinny Cup and the youth sports season that just ended, it's time to look at the draft. It's time to look at the combine now, and it's also time to look at the free agency and who you're going to keep and who you not want to keep. And you don't have a head coach that has any say on who he wants to keep and who he doesn't want to keep. So you're already behind. I would say they're behind 4 weeks right now in their off season.
Yeah,
And that's
100%.
terrible. And that's terrible.
Oh yeah, it is crazy because why? why are you so far behind? Like, oh, it's frustrating because you want to see teams succeed,
Yeah.
right? And you want to see them do well, and then because the league, you got to have nine competing teams.
Yeah.
It's not fun when it's like seven,
Yeah.
six,
Like a couple of
five
those years when it
even.
was like only like four teams out of the nine. Oh my.
Right? This year was great. It
Yeah.
was it was six out of the nine.
Yeah.
No, seven, sorry. Seven
Yeah.
out of the nine. The
Yeah.
only two teams that didn't compete were Ottawa and Toronto. Like
Yeah. Because
Edmonton
Edmonton, because
started
Edmonton started
competing.
skyrocketing at the right time. You know, there's
Yes.
two more
Wait
weeks.
till
Two more
wait till
weeks, and they would
next
have
year
been
for
seeded.
that when we talk
Yeah.
we talk about that, right? Like
Yeah.
who's in, who's out, what's gonna happen? Like like we said, like there's gonna be things that are gonna click. Like people are gonna resign, new people are
Yep.
gonna sign somewhere else. When that CFL free agency hits, like what's gonna happen is truly the answer. Because talking about Toronto, they have nobody. Let's talk about Montreal too while you're at it. If
Mhm.
they lose Philpott, they don't have anybody really.
Yeah. Well, they have
They have
Austin Mack.
they have Austin Mack, but the guy was quiet all year.
Yeah. But
You're
yeah,
not.
that just surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
That was actually shocking. And you know, I don't think I see anybody talking about it. Where was Austin Mack? Because
Yes.
Snead was the better was getting more targets than him, if I'm
No,
not
you're
not mistaken.
you're right. Like that's another thing. Like Austin Mack came back from the NFL. He goes, "I'm going back to Montreal because I
Yeah.
know they like me there."
Yeah.
And but the thing is if any team gets a guy like Philpott, is like the Ticats with Kenny Lawler. If you get a
Yeah.
guy like Philpott, you can have a receiver putting up 200 yards a game,
Yeah.
right? That's what the game changer is for the Alouettes is a receiver like Philpott. You need that number one true receiver.
And he pairs up like I said when they won the Grey Cup and Austin Mack was there when they won the Grey Cup and he was there for a full he was there he was getting a lot of targets. The 1-2 punch with Phil Pond and Austin Mack that year. What was that? 2022?
Yeah, 22.
Whenever the
Honestly,
Montreal Alouettes won the Grey Cup, those that 1-2 punch with Austin Mack and Phil Pond was tremendous. And I think next season they need to get back to that. They need to get back to that. And if they don't, let's say Philpott somehow finds his way going somewhere else. I don't ever see him leaving Montreal. Maybe go pair up with his brother in Cal. Just saying what I've said out there. But yeah, like without Philpott, they're nothing. That offense moves very slowly, very sluggishly.
yes. It was 23 in Hamilton they
Oh
won
yeah, yeah. That was
because
a great,
he
great,
won the
great
most
cut.
valuable Canadian Philpott,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah. I was
that's
at that game. Tremendous.
yeah, right? But like that's the thing, like they won because of their quarterback at the time. He was a healthy quarterback,
Yeah, he was healthy.
right?
He was good.
He was good. Now he's taken over Edmonton, Cody
Yep.
Fajardo, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Davis Alexander's you can't rely on a quarterback to play what? He went 10-1 as a starter.
Yeah.
He didn't play a full season as a quarterback, as a starting quarterback. He was hurt twice.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to count three times, because he hurt himself in the Grey Cup.
Yeah. 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 Look how. Yeah. Three
Yeah,
times.
he
Yeah.
was hurt three times
Yep.
and he didn't play, and he only started 11 games as a quarterback in like what, an 18 game season, and he didn't play all 11 games as a starter in
Hmm.
2025 because I think that dated back to last year before this year,
Yeah.
right? So that's another thing. Like you got to look at it as who's going to be healthy next year. Because realistically, the two teams that should have been in the Grey Cup were Hamilton and Saskatchewan because they're the two healthiest quarterbacks.
Hmm.
That's what wins is the healthiest quarterbacks. And talking about quarterbacks who won Grey Cup, that's his first as a starter. There's apparently no signs of that guy retiring.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be the offseason story, though, obviously. But he's not retiring. He's not. He's running it back with these guys. Saskatchewan is a beautiful group right now, and it's the mecca of football too, eh?
Oh yeah.
It's tremendous what their university program did, what their CJFL program did this year, and then what the CFL team did this year. Saskatchewan is the mecca of football in Canada. But yeah, Trevor Harris, if he retires, I'll be shocked. Won't be actually totally shocked. Just what's the more perfect ending to a storybook career? Going out on top. But the way this team is structured right now, a two-peat could be in their sights.
Oh yeah. But like the thing is like you got to look at it as who's going to beat them again?
Yeah.
Who's the team to beat right now? And the team to beat is Saskatchewan.
But a fully healthy Calgary Stampeders team, had their number this year.
Yeah, they did too. But so we thought BC did too,
Yeah, we thought so.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
We thought that, but that there's something in that Saskatchewan water or Saskatchewan air, whatever you want, a terminology you want to use there. But they were ballers this year. Like they they hadn't won since 2013, 12 years in the making. That's huge for an organization that's only won 5 Grey Cups,
yeah.
right?
Pretty,
You
pretty
look at it
crazy. Pretty crazy. They've only won 5 Grey Cups.
in a nine team league. You've only
Yeah,
won five.
and it was like 8 for a couple years too.
Yeah. Like
Like that's just crazy. But I have a question for you to hear, or for you. What 3 players do you see going to the NFL this year? Just taking a chance in training camp or whatever, going to futures contract.
okay, so we already know one already got an tryout. So Trey Vavel,
Yep.
he'll try it because
I think
that
I
guy
think he'll I think he'll get the future
that,
contract.
that guy's a pure American.
Yeah.
Is he not, right? Like
Yeah, he is.
yeah. So he'll go. Who are the others that worked out? There's definitely
I can't remember.
yeah, so it was Trey Vavel they worked out. They met who else did they work out? Because there was 3 guys.
Yeah.
There's 3 guys. Isaiah Wooden.
Oh yes, yeah. But I see. Just think about him though. I don't think he'll like you can't really tell with him if he's going to get a future contract. He's going to get a chance. Like you can't really. I don't really know.
Yeah. He that's the thing. And then Damian Alford. That one's crazy to me.
So is he even healthy?
If he's getting a
like,
workout in the NFL,
yeah,
like
he
he's
has to be healthy. But yeah, he
gotta
had
be
a
healthy
tremendous
enough.
year, but he only played half the year.
Yeah, he caught only 20 passes for 470 yards.
Yeah.
But you got to realize he served basically as a backup
Hmm.
when that guy should have been a starter because that guy had 20 catches for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's it on those numbers. That's pretty impressive for a
Dude, it
backup
was
receiver.
tremendous. Like when I was watching him in person, dude, this guy was a beast. He was a freak, and he was the number one pick.
Yeah,
Like
first overall pick.
that's unreal. But yeah, I think they were more using him just like a little bit more behind, like Philpott.
Yes.
Um, but like you could see he was getting the momentum going up later in the summer, and they were bringing him in religiously, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
But
Those
yeah, the New York,
I think
but
the Jets,
yeah, I
they're
was about to say,
struggling.
yeah, but the New York Jets, they do love the Canadian Football League. They just drafted Stingers last year from the Toronto
Yeah.
Argonauts. So
Yeah, that guy and the guy's still there,
yeah, he's still there.
which is huge.
Yeah.
And they not have Strevler for a bit too?
Yeah, they had Chris Trevor as the backup quarterback. Like, man, like they love the Canadian Football League talent. And this time they're in a rebuilding, no lie. They're rebuilding for their whole franchise history. Now going through this
No
little,
kidding.
they're gonna go through the CFL rule. I think they can find a lot of good guys, but I don't. I think Alfred needs a couple more time, a couple more years, or
But
even one
I
more
I
season to
I
make a
agree
break.
though with the 2 returners.
Hmm.
The 2 returners make sense because they if you look, there's no explosive like they just adapted to that new kickoff
And they
return.
adapted like a year late.
Yeah. So now they need those returners that are just going to be like electric, get out of there. But the thing is you got to look at it as it's still 11 on 11, 12 and 12. 12 and 12 is sure there's one more guy tackling you, but there's one more blocker,
Yeah.
right? 11 on 11 is one less, all that kind of stuff. And the way it's set up is different. You have 2 back, 9 up front.
Dude,
That's a little
but it's also
different.
a different game over there because man, a JoJo, he went to the Colts and got cut.
Yeah, the guy's
And he
massive.
and he's yeah, he's ginormous. So that shocks me. But what other 3 players can you see getting an opportunity? Not those 3 guys that went to the tryout, but like
Let's see.
haven't gone on a tryout yet. Like just name not like 3 guys that you think deserve it. I don't really care about age or anything, or if their time's closely done. Like mine, like I think Jalen Hutchins.
Hutchins, yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely could see that out of Calgary.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic guy too, man. Like,
I think Isaac Emmy Berglund would definitely be a
oh yeah,
guy.
I'd like that.
I definitely think he could do it. He's good. And I'll agree with you on Hutchings. We'll say Isaac Emmy Berglund, and I'll say there's got to be an offensive guy who what about like a guy like Scott, Stevie Scott or Brown out of the Argos, like those kind of guys. Like they could put up the numbers, but they're just those guys running backs that, they're gonna try the NFL again because there's a chance or for instance, it could be a Joe again,
Yeah. Like
right?
I want, but
100%.
I want to be shocked. But there's something about it that I think like he did the stint, and now it's like, hey, like I'm gonna have to, get better as a football player. Not even like he's already really good. It's more that like I think he's gonna try to do something differently the next time he goes, and I think that he's gonna want to stay after winning the Grey Cup. I think he just wants to stay in Saskatchewan. But like I wouldn't be surprised if he does go though, because and it will probably be with like the Colts again or something.
Okay, let's I want to keep on this subject because there's more guys that I'm thinking of now. We mentioned the Philpotts. What about the Philpotts?
Yeah, like what if it's Tyson Philpott's year? Even Jalen.
Yeah. What
Like
if those guys? Those are two. You're thinking of two offensive guys, and you mentioned Kyrie, and that's the popped up into my head with the Philpotts. What
yeah.
about them? Like, what if they want to get a shot down there? Like
And I think
it.
they can and I think it'll be good. I think it's their time. Like, they've been consistent in the CFL for 4 years now. I know Jalen has for sure. Or
Yeah.
yeah, Tyson actually has for sure. Jalen's
Yeah.
have been he's had up and downs, but more consistently in the last couple of years. Yeah, it's give him a shot. Let's see the
Right.
Philpotts. Let's see the Twins in the National Football League. That would be awesome.
Right. But you also got to look at it is why is Tyson saying why doesn't he go? Because he can go and do all these workouts and try to get a contract because he's not signed.
Yeah,
Do what Austin Mack did. Leave your rights with the Alouettes.
yeah,
Go to the NFL, try to get signed, get some looks, get some time on a practice squad or training camp roster.
yeah,
Come back to the CFL when you're ready,
yeah.
right? 100%.
And I
Like,
think and that is a smart way to do it. Like Tyrell did that. Tyrell Ford.
yeah,
He did that. He went for a stint, had a practice, had a training camp with the Green Bay Packers, and then you know what? He was like, "Hey, I want to play some football again. I'm gonna come back to Winnipeg for 1 year." And then after that season, they lost in the Grey Cup again, and you guys, I'm gonna go team up with my brother in Edmonton. But the one guy that like I can think of my whole heart after his rookie season though he's had in the CFL is Jalen Hutchins.
yeah.
Like that's the one guy I can think because he played at a Power Five conference school. He's a tremendous guy, and he had what? Trying to think. What did he have? 40
39
tackles.
tackles, eight
What?
sacks,
Eight
and a forced
sacks.
fumble.
So that's like he was probably one of the more dominant. Well, that D line though, that D line was scary with when Flo was healthy. When
Hutchins.
Clarence Hicks was killing guys.
Yeah, that's another guy
And then
too.
Hutch, yeah, Hicks. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Hicks, but the one thing why these guys are in this Canadian Football League is man, their size.
Yeah, he's 6'2" though, Hicks. He's 229.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and
He
how
can
how,
play
how
some.
tall is how tall is Hutchins? 6 feet.
Let me see, because yeah, but like that's the thing. Like you got to look at it is like 6'2", 230. That's an edge.
Yeah, no, he's a purebred edge, 1,000%. But I thought he was a little skinnier than that. Like not skinnier, but I thought he was more like a little light than that. But
Jalen Hutchins, 6 foot 304.
yeah, see, Hutchins, he's have a real shot. He was in Chicago for a training camp before he came into the Canadian Football
Yeah,
League. But yeah, I think he'll get a shot, and I think he'll be a great. Um, I think he's going to
I
receive a lot. I think he's going to receive a lot of interest.
yeah, and you know what? If we're gonna keep talking about this, because I got a list up here of guys who could go.
Oh yeah, name him off.
Let's go through these and let's see if these guys have a chance. So we're gonna start with obviously we mentioned Damian Alford.
Yep.
And That's okay. Robert Carter Jr., the DB who
Robert
had
Carter, the insane
the insane
interception that went
one-handed grab
viral.
that
The
went viral over
Yeah,
O'Leary Orange. That's
he'll
another one.
and he had a great year though. Let's talk about him still. Um,
He
Robert,
had 51 tackles.
yeah, dude, he had a sick year. That was a good year for BC. BC, I think, whatever list you have pulled up, you're gonna see a lot of BC Lions, British Columbia football players on that list. Because dude, their secondary was actually pretty. It was quite frankly good.
Yeah. Um, Another BC line you mentioned, Jackson Finley,
Yeah,
right?
dude. I don't know how much interest he will actually get, but he could make a shot and and I think he's the type of player that gets one opportunity, he rolls with it because he's a guy that's always loves to fight adversity. So dude, that'd be good. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Another guy is Kyle Fisher out of the Ticats,
Yeah, I can see that.
right? But like,
But
there's
I don't know.
a Dante Myers
Okay.
out of Saskatchewan. He's
Yeah.
only 5'10 though, so that's kind of hard as a receiver
Size, see
in
the
the
size.
NFL.
Like you need to be 6 foot and up.
Yeah. You got Devin Veresuk is rumored is a guy that like
Like the rookie
he,
linebacker, well, he did have a fantastic year.
he's 6'2, 240. Like he made 66 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception and
I
a
think
forced fumble.
you know what I think for him, you're gonna see tryouts come his way, but I don't think he's gonna sign.
Yes. But the tryouts are going to be good though for like those
Thousand
guys.
percent, get him on the radar. Because man, that rookie year he had this year, coming out of what Windsor?
Windsor, Ontario,
Woo!
Lancers.
Woo! What
And
a year he had, and
he made the
but
all-decade team too in Windsor.
yeah, and the good thing is too, like the crazy thing is too, dude was a beast. Because man, coming into training camp, he was like, I'm pretty sure he was third on the depth chart, maybe low on the depth chart coming in as a rookie
Yeah.
at linebacker. Then he was like, they took it over and just never giving it up.
Yeah. All right. I got a few more names I want to list off. Now I need your opinion on these because these ones are a little different. Davis Alexander.
So I don't think he deserves it. Well, I let me fix my words on that. Does he deserve it? Yes. He's like 13-1 as a starting quarterback of the CFL. But I don't think he's going to get a tryout. I think you have
Okay.
to be a different beast to play quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And I think that every year, every time he gets the opportunity to play consistently, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And, NFL scouts take notice on that. Anybody in the world takes notice on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got Makai Polk again. Does he go back and try it again?
I think he does. I
Yeah.
think I think he actually, if I was not mistaken, I think he actually left a pretty good mark.
Yeah.
And,
He was with the Falcons, wasn't he?
yeah, with the Falcons, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I think they still got a good tab on him in the
Yeah.
NFL. So I would, it just depends on what way they want to go. Because the NFL, like, they could always go a complete opposite way and be like, you know what, I want to see a little bit more of you. Go
Yeah.
play next year and stay healthy, or
Yeah.
that, like, play a full season.
All right. I got two more for you. Okay. Justin Rankin out of Edmonton and Terrell Richards out of Montreal.
Terrell Richards, I'd say he's been one of the best special teamers in the Canadian Football League. Tremendous player, and I think they see that. I think he does get a tryout. I think that he's big enough and fast enough. Trust me, you see him running down on punt or on a kickoff. He's
He's
fast,
unbelievable.
man. He's a fast guy, and I think he will get an opportunity in the National Football League. What was the other one? Rankin?
Yeah, Rankin.
Rankin? Yeah, I think he does because he's a flashy, exciting player, and those are the two guys I think will actually go beyond a tryout and probably sign a future and do a training camp. I think Richards actually deserves it. This guy's a
Oh yeah.
beast.
Out of Syracuse too. Like that's
Yeah,
a big school, Syracuse.
yeah. Him and my brother were in the same draft class, and you know he is a beast, man. That guy, and you proven you're a special teamer, proven. And when he does play on the defensive side, he's a good defensive player still.
Oh yeah.
But being a proven special teamer in the CFL, it can translate into the NFL, especially with the new kickoff rules.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be awesome.
Those are yeah,
Rank,
but like those are
I,
some good names, right?
yeah, like those. I think the two players that I actually do think, maybe three players, like ranking. I could see ranking if he does get a shot takes it long, goes to a training camp. Richards, I think that too. Hutch for sure. That's my three players.
Yeah. I I I agree with those three. Like we discussed the whole bunch. Excuse me. Those are the three I think I can agree on because those are the guys like that could do something like Rankin, he's a small running back, but running backs can be small in the NFL. That's fine.
They could also use him as a returner.
Yes. Right? And then like you said, Richards, that guy's built to play linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? And then Hutchins would be an insane D lineman in the
Yeah,
NFL.
he would be a great defensive tackle. Like, you know,
He's only in the
I
CFL because he had knee surgery, right? He was at Texas Tech, had
yep.
knee surgery, and he lost his draft class because of it. So he came to the CFL.
Yeah, well, then he had to try, or not try. He did a training camp with the Bears, but, you know, size does matter over there. You know, if you don't
Yep.
hit the criteria, man, they'll just go find somebody that's 6 foot and they'll clog those holes the exact same way. But, you know, I think he made it known in the Canadian Football League that Jalen Hutchins can clog holes and, man, stop the run and, you know, get to the quarterback and, you know, have some flashy plays. Jalen Hutchins, man, that's the guy, dude. I think that's the
I
guy
think
out of
that's
this
the number
season.
one we both agree on. That's the number one guy.
Yeah, I think he's the guy. You know, I've talked to him a couple times when I went out to Calgary, and you know, bro, awesome guy, man. Just awesome. Nothing less to say. He's just an awesome guy, man. So, dude, like that would be actually pretty awesome if he does get the shot. And like take away all the bias, dude. The film don't lie, man. He had a
No.
baller year, dude, and you know he's gonna get that shot and he's gonna run with it, and you're gonna see him in the National Football League, and yeah, he's for
Oh
sure
yeah.
the one. And then, but Tyrell Richards, man, I think that's my number two.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with those. Those are some good guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice offseason, but you know, before we end this, we have 10 minutes or so. We can do it 12 minutes. With the rest of this episode, just talk about the awards. You know, happened on Wednesday, like the Wednesday of the Grey Cup. Pretty sure Thursday. Nathan York, he is Mr. Canada, winning most outstanding player and most outstanding Canadian. Does he get another shot at the National Football League, or does he stay with the NFL because he's kind of been there, done that in the NFL? Didn't get a fair shot, but he's getting a fair shot here and making quite a bit of money in the CFL right now. So what do
I
you think about
think
that?
I think he stays.
Yeah.
You know what? He wants to win that Great Cup.
You could feel it
He
too. And for BC, you know how fantastic that's going to feel for that team, that organization, and especially Nathan York. York.
Yeah. Yeah. If Rourke goes out and wins it, like come on, man. A true Canadian wins the Great Cup,
Yeah.
right? Like that's huge. That's something like double dip too. Like he double dipped.
Yeah, man.
Most
Like, dude, you know how
outstanding
that's hard
Canadian.
to do, man. That's hard to do to double dip. But he did it as a quarterback, and you know, there's could have been a lot of debate for who could have been, you know, most outstanding player this year. That's how good the CFL was this year. But what do you think what his play on the year was? Like, how do you? I think it was pretty good. It was pretty solid. Obviously, one most outstanding player, but you know, anything
Started
to
off rough.
pinpoint? What's up?
Started off rough.
Yeah, started off really rough,
They
but
started off rough, but then they got in the groove, they were the team. But I think if they played better and they got to be the host instead of Saskatchewan, I think they could have been in the Grey Cup.
they also, you know, there was times, you know, they didn't play consistently going on through it down the stretch of the season.
No.
Like like Calgary, they almost brought it back in the first round of the playoffs. Didn't play consistently 4 quarters against Saskatchewan. I think they know what they have to do. They have the coaches, they have the players. For 1,000%, they have the players and the coaches that go out and play consistent football, and that's what they have to do. They have to play consistent four quarters, and they didn't do that much this year. But once they did get rolling, you could really see them, you know, that fourth quarter domination. Nathan York, man, good year, fantastic year. Most outstanding Canadian, most outstanding player. But let's move on to most outstanding defensive player. Matthew Betts, man. BC. It was a BC affair for the CFL awards.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, crap. Like, didn't didn't Betts, was it last year or 2 years ago? He deserved it too. It was 1 or 2 years ago where he deserved it. The guy was dominating, but just this year, like I think it's you got to also look at it as the CFL, Canadian Football
Yeah,
League.
Yeah.
You gotta have some Canadians win some awards, and that proved like he was the best Canadian. Like he's not better than Rourke, obviously, like different positions,
But
but he was
yeah.
the best. He was the best Canadian and the best defensive player at that position this year.
If they had like a most outstanding Canadian defensive award, he would have won it too. He would have double dipped. He would have double dipped on the defensive side. Like how they have it on, most outstanding player or most outstanding
Yeah,
defensive player, a most outstanding Canadian. Imagine you go most outstanding defensive player, most outstanding defensive Canadian. He would have double dipped those awards. Matthew Betts, man, tremendous year, winning most outstanding defensive player. Um, he's gonna stay back in the Canadian football League because then he try.
he, he
What
tried
team
the
was he?
Bears.
Yeah, he was at the Bears, right? And
He tried the Bears, and then he just ended up coming back. Didn't he go to Edmonton for 1 year?
I can't remember. Like I actually can't
Like,
remember.
or was it
Like
Edmonton
Edmonton
before?
before BC, or we went back from the Bears. No, I think he came right back straight from the Bears to BC once again.
Oh, okay. But I do remember him playing for the Elks.
You want to Google that? I'm actually no. I actually would love that. I would
Yeah,
love the.
so he did. So he actually no. So it was the Chicago Bears. Then he went to Edmonton.
Okay.
Then BC. Then he tried out for the Lions.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Lions
Oh yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
year.
Because yeah, you'd see him with Aiden Hutchinson and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it was yeah, because they have the O lineman from UBC, Giovanni Manu there,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so he went to the Detroit for practice squad and then got released and came back to BC. But I do remember his stint with Edmonton.
Do you think he goes back to the NFL, or do you think he goes? You know what? I'm staying here for a while.
He's 30.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, though, he's 30. Does he
He's
want one more crack at it?
And like this would be the year you'd have to do your last crack at it. Like you're aging, and then after that, if you don't crack it, come play in the CFL because I bet you have a spot on the roster. You'll be a starter for the next 5 to 6 years before
Yep.
age catch up to you. Because man, he still plays like he's 26 years old.
Yeah, because what he did was he won in 2023, won Defensive Player of the Year, went out to the practice squad for the Lions, and then came back to BC, and then excuse me, then he won it again this year.
Hmm.
So does it repeat itself? Does he go out and try it one more time?
I think you
Because
have to.
he's got another hardware saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm the best defensive player in the CFL. Look at my stats, look at my play."
I think he has to. I think you have to give your at least one more shot because you're 30. You can't be a 31-year-old and try and do one more shot. It's this year. This is the year. This is the year. It'll be your final shot. You don't make it. You don't make it. You come back and be the highest paid defensive player or
Yeah.
defensive lineman. You know what I mean? Overall though, like Matthew Betts, man, he's had a tremendous career. Is he a future Hall of Famer in the CFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
He's two-time defensive player, two-time all-star.
Yeah.
He's he's got it all.
No debate, man. No debate.
And he won the most outstanding player in the West Division two times.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's four trophies he has in his career
Yeah.
and four-time all-star. So what does that tell you? That's pretty
That's a
Hall of
fantastic
Fame
resume.
resume.
Resume. Does he have a great cup or no?
No, that's
Yeah.
why he has two Vaniers though.
Two Vaniers, yeah, with Laval. Right,
Yeah.
Laval?
Yep.
He needs that great cup, and I think him and Rourke know they're on the cusp of something. And that cusp of something is the Great Cup. And next year I wouldn't be shocked if, they win the Great Cup.
No, and I thought it could have honestly this year I knew it was going to be the West. I knew it was going to be the West winning the Grey Cup, but it was hard to beat Saskatchewan.
Yeah, man, Saskatchewan, they were the most consistent football team in the Canadian Football League. And, you play consistently all throughout the season. It's easy to play consistent football in the playoffs. And that's exactly what they did. But we got to sign off here. Unless you want to talk about, actually, let's talk about the most outstanding rookie.
Yeah, Trey
Trey,
Val
what's up?
Trey Vavel.
Yeah, Trey Vavel.
Yeah,
Man,
that's I didn't, you know what? If I
he double dipped though, eh? He double dipped. He got most outstanding
double
special
dip
teams.
too.
Yeah.
I don't think he deserved to double dip though.
No. No.
It should have been the guy out of Hamilton.
Dude, Verisak should have won most outstanding rookie in my opinion.
Yep, should have 100% should have.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Vavel's great special teams player,
1000%.
but special teams only gets you so far.
Yeah.
Defense, as starting middle linebacker in the CFL in your
From a
first,
U Sports program too.
yeah,
That's CFL ran all over. That's unreal.
that is, yeah. Come
That's what the
on, let's
game
how did
is.
he
That's what the
not
Canadian
win?
game is. That's what the
That's
Canadian game is.
yeah, that's a guy who should have won.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, he got robbed. He actually got robbed.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? I think this is as big as a robbery as when Simone lost his Defensive Player of the
Yo,
Year.
that was actually crazy. What year was that? 2019?
20, I want to say 2022,
2022.
because that was the year Big Hill won it, right?
I don't know. You want to Google that?
Yeah, I'm looking right now because I want to know.
Because it was
Oh,
after COVID or before COVID. I can't really remember. Those were a foggy couple of years. The COVID-19.
oh man, I can't. Why can't I find it? 2022,
But yeah,
2020.
that was one of the years. He let Simone that year
No,
though.
that was Lorenzo Maldine who won it in 22. You might
Okay.
be right. It might be 19. It might be 2019. But it
Is
was
that
it was the one year that Big Hill won it, and we were all shocked. Oh my God, it's driving me nuts though
so
because
it was the same year that he broke the record for most tackles in a game, wasn't it?
I I, I want to say it was. I think it was 2019.
Okay. Bet.
It was. I'm going with 2019. I can't find anything on it. It was 2019 or 2020. It was the year when Speedy B took on the most. Yeah, you know what? I think. Well, shoot, it
It
should have
was
been. But it should have been him. Whatever year it was,
yeah.
everybody will know. They can let us know what year it was
Yeah,
because I can't
someone will
find it.
fact check it. Don't you worry.
Fact check it for sure. But I still think that this year and the year that Simone lost are the two robberies for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
1000%. And I think it's because the voters have something going up against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
That's what we're gonna say because we're homers. We're
Yeah.
homers on that one. But it's
Yeah.
true. If anybody else would agree, I think it's true though.
Hmm.
Devin Verasuk should have won Rookie of the Year. That guy should have won it. And Simone Lawrence should have won Defensive Player of the Year, whatever year it was that he broke the tackle record.
100%. But yeah, that's been actually been the CFL show right there with Anson Gross. We're gonna have Anson come on throughout the offseason too. There's gonna be massive moves being made any day now, any week now, probably more actually in the 26 in 2026 in January. So when that all starts, we're going to be having him off to talk about the draft. We're going to have him coming out to talk, hype it up for the training camp. We're going to have him off throughout the whole offseason whenever big news starts peeling. But Anson, thank you for coming on and covering the CFL here.
Appreciate it, man. It was a great season. Looking forward to next season and all the off season because you know the CFL off season is always different. Nothing's the same until the season starts.
100%. There's always a drama going in. Also, congratulations on winning the Tier 2 championship with your SJB boys. There you
Thank
go,
you.
coach.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's one of many. That's the first trophy I'm gonna win as a coach, and then next year the Ticats are gonna win their trophy, and I get to celebrate as a fan.
Boom, boom, and boom. This has been the Daniel Federico Show with Anson Gross. See you guys sometime next week or this week.